Good Standing Night Paper. Welcome back to my channel, Running Wild, and today I'm going to walk you through how to do active release on yourself. Probably one of the best things you can do for tight muscles, and seeing a massage therapist or to have someone do active release on you or any of that kind of stuff on you can be great, but it can also be a great tool to use on yourself and can be done before every single run to make sure you're not starting off with any tight muscles and just loosen up a little bit before you head out the door. So I'm going to explain more as we go, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. And we're going to cover from our feet up to our hips and a little bit of our back too. So again, I'll explain more as we go. And oh, I should tell you what we need. So I have a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, a peanut. I wanted a softball, I didn't have one, so I stole my furry niece's toy and have her ball. And I also have a chair, which you'll see me using a little bit. And you can also use a foam roller for any of this stuff. That would be great. Unfortunately, I just don't have one on me right now, so I'm just gonna work with what I have. But let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my feet, 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna roll around just to see if there's any tight spots first. But then, if I find a tight spot, could be the arch of my foot or close to my big toe, I can do that. So basically more activating on the way up and then trying to fully relax as I release my foot down. Again, really just rolling. You could use a tennis ball here. Right now I'm using a lacrosse, so you can even use a golf ball. Switching sides. A little more towards my heel. Well, you can also really get your forefoot Alright, my feet feel pretty good, so I'm going to set through my calves. So, I'm going to place this right underneath my calf. And then I could go like this to add a little bit more pressure. You know, I could stay here and just really breathe through it if it's super tight. Actually, it does feel pretty tight right there. But yeah, so just staying in one place and breathing through it could be enough. Or keep going to the side to find another spot. You might feel like you're more tight on the inside of your calf. But what you really want to make sure is that you can relax your muscle. Like sometimes I have to use a tennis ball if something's really tight, because the lacrosse ball is really hard, which can be great for digging the muscle, but if my muscle can't release, then it's not helping me. It's too much. Like I go to something softer. So I got my calves. Now I'm going to do my peroneal. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. I'm going to do it this way. So this is targeting my upper peroneal, but if you have outside ankle pain, this could really help too. And sometimes it's higher up that's actually tight, and then you just feel the pain close to your ankle. I'm going to lean into it a little bit. Again, you can just stay here, or you can move your foot up and down. Other side. Really going behind that shin bone, back towards the calf a little bit. Is that done? So okay, I'm gonna place this ball. So here's my shin bone. I'm gonna go right on the outside with the ball, which a lot of people don't think of getting tight, but this can feel amazing. Actually, I'm gonna use this tennis ball instead, show it up a little better. Side, switch over so you guys can see. And so one day a week, I really like for my athletes to go through this entire body process. And if anything's tight, you can certainly go up to a minute, but you really don't want to go longer than a minute. Because if it's not going to release in a minute, it's not going to release today. Okay, so now this is a big one for a lot of runners. I know we're going to do our quads. We go right in the, I'm going to start right in the middle of my quad, but you can move up, move the side, you can move the inside. Sometimes my inside gets really tight. And then I'm going to start right in the middle. So breathe, relax. Great time to practice nose breathing and just slow, relaxed breathing. All right, other side. I'll roll around a little bit. Relax on the way down. This feels really good. Well, I am using the tennis ball, not the lacrosse ball right now, so there's that. Okay, so you know what, I'm gonna do the TFL right now, because that can get really tight. So, pretty much right the side of your hip. And sometimes the TFL can take over too much, instead of having your glute med work as it should. So if this is tight, this is a really good thing maybe to do before runs. So here, you can lift your leg up and down. Feel that. All right, other side. And you know, for a lot of people, just staying here and breathing through it is to be more than enough. Nice, relaxed breathing. You really want to try to fully relax that muscle. If you stay tense, that muscle's not going to release. Next up, we're going to use the chair for our hamstring. So I'm going to get that ready. So I'm going to place the ball right in the middle of my hamstring. You know, you might be tighter higher up in your hamstring or lower down, so just play around with it. Okay, side. This time I'm going to start a little bit higher up, high hamstring. And this might be way too much for some people, so you might just want to get a foam roller and stay on the ground and just start with that, because this is a lot right now. I typically don't have tight hamstrings, so I can handle it, but I think for other people, this would be a little painful if you're not going for it. Okay, now I'm going to stick this right in my piriformis. It's right in the middle of my butt. And I'm just going to start off like this. Hold here, or you can start moving your leg up and down. I also like to do it this way too. I was just talking to one of my athletes, and he said his glutes were always super tight. And that could be because they never get to relax. And if something's tight, you know, it's not normally just not going to release on its own. So doing the active release and then after doing some mobility is really important. And then just, you know, similar to like active release techniques, you know, you can go like this, activate your muscle, and then you release it. That should be the same goes for when you're running too. You engage a muscle, and then you release it. Just skip this 30 seconds. So we're gonna use this time, if anything felt really tight from your butt down, spend this time to work on it a little bit more. As I said, you can do up to a minute. If not, or if it doesn't release in a minute, you know, you just gotta wait till tomorrow to try it again. It'll eventually release, trust me. Okay, so now I'm gonna do low back. This is right in my low back. Lift one leg up, back down. One leg up, back down. I love this peanut tool. Sometimes I'll just roll it along my spine, and it feels really good. Okay, I'm gonna move it to just underneath my shoulder blades. And this is actually a really important area to keep loose for runners. So many runners, you get tight here, and then you just look stiff as you run, but you really want that movement in your thoracic spine. At least a little bit. Obviously not overdoing it, but you need a little. Otherwise you try to get your counterbalance rotation where you're not supposed to. Up, down. Ooh, it felt a little cracked, but it felt good. Up, down, down. And you can just stay here. Do some nice deep breathing. All right, so you could do other body parts. So you could certainly do this part of your body. I'm sure there's some things I missed, but hopefully you got the basics again. I would do your whole body at least once a week as a check-in, but other days, just doing a quick foam rolling, or sometimes I'll do this instead of the ball because it's a little bit quicker and I can target more areas at once. But if you have any tight spots, really target that before runs. Spend a little time doing it because one tight muscle can affect your entire stride. You know, like I have tight calves and I constantly have Achilles problems. So that's something you might have to focus on too. And when you have another area that's tight, like so many runners have tight quads, especially my mountain runners out there. So try to do this on a regular basis, and then to really get the full benefits, you really want to do some sort of mobility activation before that. And again, you want to do this before your strength routine or your runs because you don't want to start off any of those things tight because then your movements are going to be restricted, right? So I think, and I will do a video on that, sorry, before I end this. So if you like this video, please subscribe. That always helps if you're not a subscriber already. Feel free to leave your comments. Tell me what you think if you try this. Hopefully you get the idea that, you know, you're going to feel it if something's tight, but you don't want to be in too much pain. But interested to get your thoughts and see if it helps you release some of your tight muscles and helps over time. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep running wild. Sorry, bonus clip. One thing I forgot to show is targeting your psoas muscles. So you're basically like your deep lower core muscles. So basically, I'm going to use this big ball so you can see. I'm going to place this just inside my hip, about right there. And then I'm going to lay over it. So you can just stay here, or you can roll around a little bit. You can move your leg up and down a little bit if you want. I know like a lot of people get tight here and never realize it until they do this. And they go run after they do this, and they're like, oh my god, I feel so much better. So even if you don't think you're tight here, it's totally worth the try. Now let's do a little bit on the other side. Okay. All right, now after this, go enjoy the rest of your warm-up routine, run, workout, whatever.